Hello, this is Kate, the Daily Tarot Girl, and welcome to your weekly tarot card reading. For this week's reading, I am using my Everyday Witch Tarot, and this is such a good deck for those days where you're feeling kind of lazy. Like, I'm feeling a little bit lazy right now. I'm making this on Boxing Day, and I'm just kind of tired from all the Christmas stuff. And I was like, I don't have a lot of energy. I'm like, okay, I'm going to reach for my Everyday Witch Tarot because this is just such an easy deck to read with. Okay, so let's start with the first card. So this is for the beginning of the week. Now, my kitty Rhea has joined us, and I'm just going to show you her. She's right. I don't know if you can see her. She's hiding. You can see her little paws. She's being like, there she is. She's very shy. She doesn't make an appearance too often in these videos. Okay, so for the beginning of the week, we have the Four of Swords. And I should have mentioned that my intention, as always, is to get kind of an overview of the energies and opportunities for the week ahead. And we're starting off with the Four of Swords for the beginning of the week. And we actually have kind of an exciting week because, is it Wednesday is New Year's Eve? And then Thursday is New Year's Day. So kind of a big week. Four of Swords is saying, get some rest at the beginning of the week. You may feel like having kind of a low-key week this week, and prioritize rest, not just at the beginning of the week, but for the whole week. So that's the first thing I get with Four of Swords, is you're going to want to prioritize, there's a bit of glare here, let's see. You're going to want to prioritize rest at the beginning of the week. And more than anything, Four of Swords is about mental rest. So not just resting your body, but allowing your mind to rest. I have a feeling that you maybe have been doing a lot of thinking, a lot of strategizing, turning things over in your mind. You've been using a lot of mental energy lately, and Four of Swords is saying it's time to actually let your mind rest. So I want you to think, as you start this week off, what kinds of things help you like rest your mind? Is it meditation? Is it going for a walk or going outside or like doing something kind of artsy or doing a puzzle? I find puzzles to be very mentally relaxing. So prioritizing mental rest. And then as we get to the middle of the week, we've got 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands is a card of like feeling burdened and weighed down by something. You might be trying to do too much this week, and it might start to really become apparent midweek. Now, it's funny that this has come after the Four of Swords, because the Four of Swords was saying you need to prioritize rest. And then the witch in 10 of Wands is not prioritizing rest. She's doing the exact opposite. So these are two very, very different cards. So the 10 of Wands seems to be saying you may want to, just like the Four of Swords was saying prioritize rest, 10 of Wands is saying be very careful that you don't take on too much this week. You may have a lot of people wanting to kind of pawn things off on you and like pass things off, and you may be overloaded with a lot of requests to help, and that in and of itself is fine, but just try not to spread yourself too thin. There's a real danger of spreading yourself too thin, taking on too much, and getting exhausted. But seeing these two cards together tells me that this week you may feel a little run down. You might feel a little exhausted. It could just be a result of all the Christmas stuff, New Year's stuff, all of that. This can be an exhausting time of year, even just with like, I mean, depending on where in the world you live. But where I am, it tends to get dark at like 3:30. It feels like it's nighttime, which can make you feel kind of tired. Okay, so let's have a look at the last card. the card for the end of the week. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And here we have Temperance. So I feel like the message is quite clear, actually, which is nice. I like it when I do a reading where the message is nice and clear, as opposed to like a reading that's really confusing. Because Temperance is saying you need to prioritize balance. And I like how it's come right after the 10 of Wands. So it's like midweek, maybe you take on a lot and you're like, too much. But by the end of the week, you've figured it out. You've got into a groove. You've figured out how to balance things out. And I just love the Temperance card, how she's got some vegetables and water and a book on this side. And then she's got her laptop, a martini, and cupcakes with icing on the other side. And it's saying you can have it all, but just balance it out so you're not overindulging in one thing and neglecting another area. So at the end of the week, this is about creating balance and being realistic too. And it's funny because I think New Year's Day is Thursday, I think. And this card is about not being unrealistic in the kinds of New Year's resolutions you set, or if you set any goals for your 2026. Temperance is saying, be kind to yourself in the goals that you set, be realistic, and make sure that you still make time for the fun stuff. You allow for a little bit of junk food or junky hobbies, whatever that might entail. So yeah, Temperance, all about balance. So I feel like what this reading is really telling us to do this week is to find some sort of balance between rest and work, and being active, being inactive, so that we don't flip to any extreme. Now, I just want to point a few things out. All of these cards are even numbers, and the Four of Swords, the number 4 is a very stable card. Like, think about 4 legs on a table or 4 legs on a chair. So Four of Swords is about stability, and it's saying the key to mental and emotional stability this week is getting enough rest and giving your brain a break, and resist the temptations to take on everyone's tasks and burdens. Resist the temptation to become too busy. And I almost wonder if that 10 of Wands, because it's showing up midweek, and that's kind of the time that many of us might be setting New Year's resolutions or setting intentions for 2026. It's saying, try not to, don't be overly enthusiastic about setting goals this year. Like, just pick 2 goals. That's what I've done so far. I've picked 2 things to focus on instead of like 20 things. And yeah, less is more. That's the message I'm getting. Less is more. Focus on quality over quantity, and focus on presence as opposed to speed. And Temperance just ties it all together with really encouraging you to be balanced, to avoid any extremes, and I think prioritizing health as well. That seems to be a nice message with Temperance. Okay, so I think that's all I want to say about these cards, but I'm just going to take one more look. And I always invite you to share your own insights and your own ideas on the card. So feel free to do that in the comments below, or let me know if this reading resonated with you, or if there's something that jumped out to you in the reading, if there was a part of the reading that really resonated. I'd love to hear it. And if you want to share what your intentions are for 2026, I'd love to hear it in the comment section. I'm going to be coming out with my forecast reading for the year ahead. I'm going to be uploading that on Saturday, so pretty soon. Okay, so I don't think there's anything else I want to mention. Yeah, I think I've mentioned it all. So I just want to close the reading by saying thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please consider subscribing to my channel, clicking like, leaving me a comment, and I hope you have a wonderful week and Happy New Year.